Our guest serves on the Budget and Oversight and Reform Committees. He's a member of this Anti-Socialism Caucus, and I understand it correctly, your background is in real estate development.
Real estate developer.
Give us what type of development did you do?
We started out in single-family housing. I'm a general contractor. We migrated because I'm near Charlotte, North Carolina. We're a suburb of Charlotte, and have gotten into commercial projects where we build shopping centers, we build hotels. We do a lot of leasing. We buy land through 1031 exchanges and put it to work. And there's no better example of capitalism than the real estate development world. High risk, high reward, tremendous downside if you guess wrong.
I ask you that because there's that New York Times story today about the president during his times as a real estate developer, $1 billion in losses over a decade. And as part of that, he describes it in a tweet this morning. He said this, that developers in the 80s and 90s, more than 30 years ago, were entitled to massive write-offs, depreciation, which would, if one was actively building, show losses and tax losses in almost all cases. As part of the president's response, can you relate to any of that in your experience as a developer yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, the tax laws were different back then. You could spread your losses. You could buy a project that initially would lose money, and it would shelter income. But you would invest in projects that were in the red to shelter income, but those properties you hope will produce a positive income later on. And as I tell people, there's no better example of free enterprise. Those businesses that are turned around that make a profit. And we've got to start defining profits. I want everybody to make a profit. That's how you support the schools, law enforcement, first responders. And so, yeah, we took advantage of the tax laws. It was legal. The president did the same thing. I can relate to exactly what he said. We did the same thing. And most businesses, real estate businesses that were small or big, did the same thing, because why wouldn't you do that? You're able to prosper more if you do it.
Are losses a common part of the real estate development business?
Absolutely. Depreciation. It's a deferred loss, but it's where you wear an asset out and you take a tax write-off on that, but you have to replace it. Tell me one hotel that when you walk in, the carpet has to, if you can tell carpet that is worn out and has to be replaced, that's got a depreciation on it. It's called component depreciation. We do it all the time. What the president's talking about back in the 70s and 80s was a lot more under the Reagan administration. You had write-offs to encourage to put your money in other projects.